This video is brought to you by Squarespace. Whether you need a domain, website, or online store, make it happen with Squarespace. What's up guys, it's Katie. Welcome back to Spill the Spotlight. Yes, I said what's up instead of hola, just trying something new out for the new year, but I don't know, we'll see how it pans out. More importantly, today I have a style inspo video, which is one of my favorites to film. I actually think I need to start filming them more frequently because some of the things I have on this list I wrote down back in October. So let me know if you'd be interested in seeing these more frequently. But if you are new here and you're wondering what this is all about, pretty much just a bunch of really cool stuff that I have found in the fashion industry or things that can inspire fashion that I think you guys might like too, and hopefully if you check them out you feel just as inspired. I'm actually going to start things off really broad with an entire decade, which is the 80s. I've been on a massive 80s kick for almost the last 6 months now. Really got turned up a notch when Stranger Things season 2 came out. I liked the first season, but I wasn't like the craziest, biggest supporter of it. But the second season, I really enjoyed. Totally fell in love with Steve, by the way, so let me know who your favorite character was. But yeah, slowly since then, different aspects of my life have been taken over by the 80s. Obviously not my home decor because it's still firmly planted in the 70s, but as far as graphics and typography go, I love what the 80s have to offer. And really what first drew me into that was when I watched the Netflix original Glow. So that's also another 80s based show from them. So if you haven't already seen that, definitely recommend it. If you are looking for authentic celebrity style inspo from the decade though, you have to go to the Brat Pack, of course. But for me, I've really just been enjoying scrolling through a bunch of old 80s photo shoots in general. And probably one of my favorite things from back then is actually the music. I've been listening to the 80s pop playlist on Spotify. If you're into that sort of thing, definitely check that one out. But I've also picked up a few records at the thrift store that I've really been enjoying. I've got 80s Heartbreakers, a bit of Cyndi Lauper. I also have a couple that are just from a specific year, and one of my favorite things about these two is actually the album art. I love how it's designed, the colors, the font, everything like that, which is totally my next inspiration, records in general. I have been collecting them for like just over a year now, and yeah, we have like a nice little modest collection, and I love looking at them for inspiration, whether it's, like I said, the colors and fonts they use, which is definitely the case with like the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I love the warm and cool tones of this. Or in other instances, you might really like the personal style of the artist, which is totally the case for me when it comes to Outkast. I love Andre 3000's look, which I feel like the cap stay is kind of even inspired by him. A few other album arts that I really love include Blondie, Parallel Lines, Marvin Gaye, In the Groove. I feel like the colors on this are 100% on trend for spring summer 2018. And also A Tribe Called Quest have some really cool artwork. While we're on the topic of music, I do have a music video that I discovered a few months ago now, which is Kim Petras' I Don't Want It At All. And I feel like usually if I talk about music videos, I'm like coming from a nostalgic sort of sense where it's like Destiny's Child, Britney Spears, all my old faves. But Kim Petras' new one is amazing. You've got to check it out. It still kind of has a nostalgic vibe because it's very early 2000s, and then the goddess herself, Paris Hilton, shows up as well. So it's totally epic. You guys have to check it out if you're into that sort of early 2000s scene, which also I've had in mind for a little while to do a lookbook inspired by iconic music video outfits. And I think it was on my last video, I got a comment about it, and it totally made me think that I should ask for your guys' opinion of what you think are the most iconic music video looks that you would like to see me recreate or kind of like reimagine into my own style as well. So definitely hit me up with your suggestions for that. This next item is kind of random, but to be fair, collectively, all of these items are very random and don't really mesh together, but that's just me. My interests are all over the place, which is why my style is different from day to day, and I don't have an aesthetic, which actually that meme that I posted on Instagram was part of my best 9. I think it was like my 4th most liked photo, which I'm very happy about that a lot of people can relate to that. But anyway, back to this one. It is actually a book which I have had since I was a little girl. We were just cleaning out the cupboard and I found it, started flicking through it and was like, oh my god, Barbie actually did serve some looks back in the day. I always thought that Bratz dolls were totally superior, which honestly they kind of still are, but if you go back even further than the early 2000s, Barbie totally had some kick-ass looks. I have absolutely no idea if this book would even still be available, but I thought it was still kind of fun to feature, and I'll have a flick through it and you can kind of pause on the outfits that you might want to take some inspiration from. But yeah, I just remember loving this as a kid and rediscovering it the other week. I'm still loving it just as much. I have been meaning to talk about Queen of Pentacles for the longest time. It's actually where I got my nameplate necklace from, which isn't actually a nameplate because it is my star sign. They have all of the star signs on offer there. Mine's in gold. I'm not sure if they also offer silver or not, but they're really, really good quality. I wear mine almost every single day. It's just such a nice little dainty piece that completes the look without being over the top if you're not really into accessories that much. So yeah, I know a lot of people ask me where I got that from, so Queen of Pentacles is the one to check out for that. They actually have a really sweet Instagram as well, so you can check them out there too. Which I guess means I should just hit you up with some of my favorite Instagram accounts recently, starting things out with Galore. I love Galore magazine. They have one of the best feeds going in my opinion. I really love their original content. They have some really great photo shoots that are just colorful and fun, quirky, bright, all the good things. I absolutely love that sort of aesthetic recently. But on top of that, they also post some really cool, nostalgic inspo pics from like the early 2000s, 90s. You've got your Sailor Moons, Paris Hilton, Britney Spears, ex-Tina, all the good stuff. I also really like Remy Louis's page. She's New York City based. I believe she's a singer, but she posts a ton of outfit pics on her Insta. And she has a style that I think a lot of you would really, really like. They're really fun and funky, but in some ways still very wearable because there's a lot of jeans outfits and things like that as well. And lastly for Insta, I also really wanted to mention Maria Bernard. I think that she has such a good balance of injecting color into your wardrobe for those of us who are still kind of new to it and it seems a little bit daunting. She's not like full out in your face, but she still has some of the best color combinations that I've seen, and she wears a lot of blazers as well, so her style seems to be like a little bit more classy, and if I want a more elevated look, then I definitely look for her for some inspo. One company that I did actually find on Instagram, but today the main thing I wanted to talk about is Benzine, is the Girl Gaze project. And Girl Gaze, their whole mission is to empower women behind the lens and kind of help them break into this industry, which is such an incredible concept. And on top of that, their Zine is just amazing. I've never seen a Zine kind of set out like this. I guess I don't read that many Zines, but yeah, let me know what you guys think of this one. I think it is such a cool concept, and it's not the biggest articles, I suppose, but everything is really, really interesting. Their cover girl is Willow Smith, who is just such an inspiring figure, especially for our generation and younger as well. So yeah, 100% check this one out. Even if you're only going to check out one thing in this whole video, I think you'd want to make it this one. Okay, I'm finishing things off with two YouTube channels that I highly, highly suggest you go and subscribe to right now. The first one is Color Club. She is just the sweetest girl I have ever seen on YouTube. She just brings so much joy to this platform, I swear. Obviously, like her name suggests, there is a lot of color in her channel, and she has this really nice 80s retro vibe, again tying into the first thing that I mentioned in this video. But honestly, you guys are gonna love her, especially if you're into thrifting. She hasn't posted a video for a little while, so you might want to check her over on Instagram as well, but hopefully she'll be back and gracing us with her presence very, very soon. Okay, the other YouTube video I legit only just found yesterday and have already binged watched every episode of PAQ. I think the channel is actually Kyra TV though, but the PAQ episodes is where it is at. You guys are going to love this. It is pretty much 4 guys with really distinct personal styles. They come together and do these different outfit challenges and then have a non-biased judge at the end choose a winner. I was like, this feels like a TV show. Honestly, the quality of production is just insane, and they must have a pretty decent budget for it as well, because they have a really big film crew. They're flying over to New York City to do thrifting videos. Like, honestly, I'm doing a shit job at explaining it, but you just have to go and check it out. I know you'll love it. That does bring us to the end of today's style inspos. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, give it a big thumbs up, and as always, hit me up in the comments with any of your recommendations too. But lastly, before you go, I did want to say another huge thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video. If you guys are looking to start up your own online business, maybe a little bit of a side hustle or even a fashion blog, then Squarespace is definitely the place to make it happen. They offer an incredible all-in-one platform with amazing customer service. You can sort out your domain name, plus choose from a ton of designer templates to make sure that your website is looking top-notch. So I would definitely recommend heading on over to squarespace.com to start your free trial. And when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/stealthespotlight for 10% off your first order of a domain or website. Thanks again for watching, guys. Mwah.